Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the new Riff Single Malt, this time the 2024 edition, which we have here. Dustin, this time comes in at 57.25% ABV. Also, so we had one from last year, also the 2023. So we kind of pour this as a comparison, see if it's any different kind of as we go through the 2024. Because 2023 was the first year. Am I correct, Dustin?
Yes, sir. 23 was the first.
Yeah, so we'll see what it's like, and we'll see if it's changed at all with a little bit of the 2023. If you guys had a chance to try anything from New Riff, I'll tell you what, find your profile, take a chance on them.
They've got a lot of options.
Yeah, quite a few things from this story. Single malt American whiskey, I guess is how you'd pronounce that, Dustin. Is that right?
Yeah, so this is truly a single malt. So we believe everything that goes in there's a malt. They have 11 different malts. This is supposed to be a blend of 5 of them. Mm-hmm. And they don't tell us what the cask maturation is, but they tell us they use various casks. I believe last year's involved sherry, port, virgin oak, refilled oak. It was crazy.
Yeah, make it funky with it.
So I don't know the details. I emailed New Riff. You guys wouldn't respond. I was trying to make sure we gave you all the details, but
well, we're going to
give my best.
We're here to give the details on how it smells and tastes. Dustin, let's get into it. Right away, something very recognizable and hearty about this as compared to a normal, say, bourbon or rye from the distillery.
I get baby, like how do I put this? Like a vanilla, but like a powdered vanilla with like strawberry notes.
Cocoa powder for me. Almost chocolate malt, whey protein, optimum nutrition.
Once you get past that, I got brown sugar, chocolate, and some charred barrel.
I would say it's sweet though. I was gonna say with a little bit of brown sugar.
Heavy brown sugar when you start digging in. Mm-hmm. Cinnamon's in there big time.
Yeah, nice spice here. Real nice spice. It isn't too prickly. It's a really nice compliment.
It's a beautiful, like, complex whiskey in that. I mean, and again, it's changing. Again, you can tell there's different casks. You can get the virgin oak. You can tell there's a couple wine casks in here.
You get a couple embers of just some wood smoke. A lot going on with this.
I was told there might be a little bit of peated malt in here. I honestly can't tell from nosing at all.
I mean, it wouldn't shock me. There is some wood smoke here.
Definitely wood smoke. I'm assuming that's from virgin oak, but I could be wrong.
It's there's a little bit of a chocolate note building up now too.
Definitely some chocolate in here.
It's getting darker as the wood embers start to.
Yeah, the more you nose this, the more dark, dense notes come through, and they just rise right up.
Yeah, almost coffee bean.
I can see. Yeah, I mean that's probably not where I would have gone, but I can see where you're getting that for sure.
It's just such a clean spirit. Like, just experiencing this as a single malt. I think I thought something similar last year. It's just a very clean experience compared to what I'm used to.
Yeah. Now we'll get into like the differences, but I mean, my first initial thought on this one is that it is more approachable than last year's. It seems like they've gone a little bit more towards the fruity, sweet side. Again, we'll dig into that more, but just my initial thought is this is much more approachable and much more of a Scotch drinker's profile, without trying to leave the bourbon drinker behind, It's
yeah, this is easy to gravitate to.
They tweaked it. I mean, they
knocked a little more of the Scotch lover side here.
Yeah. Just subtle tweak.
Yeah, some red fruits, coming up here at the end.
Yeah, like I said, I initially got the strawberry right away, just coming through.
I mean, nothing like a cherry though, like what you'd expect out of a bourbon or something. Like it's much more of a. I won't say lighter, but lighter as far as effect on the nose.
Like I said, I just get this very subtle, like red, like artificial candied strawberry, like if it was like the berries and cream kind of thing. Like,
yeah, it's like something liquid inside of a chocolate bar, something almost artificial. Good one.
Yeah, when I really dig in, I do get a bit of like a wet watermelon type note as well coming through, which I know is kind of a turnoff for some people, but I actually kind of like that note on this one. But I'm getting that kind of at the end. But it is kind of like a wet oak note that's sort of coming through. I'm not sure if that's going to make everybody super excited or not.
Wow. Just like on the nose, like you barely taste it. You barely even know alcohol's there on the palate on the nose. When you swallow, you get a nice little swell. That chocolate comes in hard. Silky palate. Silky smooth, nice cocoa. A little bit of like strawberries and cream. All covered in chocolate. Chocolate's a dominating flavor for me on this the whole time. And just you really didn't feel any alcohol till the as soon as you swallow, but then huge alcohol push of just chocolate and oak here right on the side. Man, real good.
Watermelon Jolly Rancher is coming through all over the place.
You're right. Nice.
I can't even get past that note. I mean, the chocolate's there, the cinnamon's there, the wood spice, but that watermelon Jolly Rancher up front is just, it's everything, and it really makes this whiskey fun, really gives it that nice profile, and yet it's got the darkness, the density, and to your point, Mike.
What did I say, strawberries and cream?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a bad note either.
Yeah, I mean, Jolly Rancher was better.
But I'll tell you what, I mean, one thing's for sure here. I mean, if you are a bourbon drinker who wants the kick of alcohol and stuff, you might be a little surprised at how little alcohol is coming through on this 57%. Incredibly approachable, drinkable whiskey.
I didn't say it on the nose, but because I was waiting for the palate to see if it was, a lot different. But I tell you what, until you swallowed on the palate, it was non-existent.
I think you did even catch it on the nose that it was low on.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, this whole thing. What a lovely experience. Yeah.
Brings up a little bit more of like a toffee and like a burnt caramel note with water. Fruits come down a bit, which is unusual actually.
You ever have like those little sponge cake rolls with like strawberries and like whipped cream usually?
Oh, no, not really.
Strawberry
I know what
shortcake
you're talking about,
something like that.
Yeah, I've never had a roll like that, but yeah, I've had strawberry shortcake.
You see them in the store all the time, those little round little sponge, basically they're Twinkies, just in a different form. I made those, no, I didn't make them. My sister made them one time with just a dark version of them for like Halloween or something. And it was like chocolate cake with the strawberries and like chocolate, whipped cream on it. And that's what I'm getting here, just a dark version of strawberry shortcake. Yeah, and it's real nice.
This is just very, very enjoyable, very approachable.
Yeah, Dustin, I tell you what, I like that we had the other one just kind of as a comparison, because I wasn't nearly as high on last year's as I am this year's.
And that's kind of why I brought this, because I mean, they're similar whiskeys. Like, if you have these without having the other one next to it, if you're like us and really big nerds, you probably remember a difference. But for most people, you're not going to be like, can't believe how different that is. So, Mike, do you want to review it now, or do you want to taste the old one and then talk?
Keep going. We'll keep talking about this one, and then we'll go. This one is how do we think it's different?
Yeah. Okay. So you want to go and try this guy here?
Sure.
I'm like I said. I mean, this is just. It's not a super complex whiskey. It's just really nice.
Yeah, this instantly lacks the deep dark chocolate notes. It has some similar facets to it, but you're right. You recognize it as a very similar whiskey, a sister whiskey, if you will.
I mean, it doesn't shock me in the slightest that this is from the same distillery, but it's definitely got a different profile. It is much more on the malt sweetness forward, with less of the cask coming through. And I do know a good chunk of this is sherried, and I believe there's even port in this one.
But it doesn't come off nearly as dark. I bet we don't know what the cask maturation of this is exactly. Again, we tried to get the information, but
yeah, no, I mean, if you guys will tell us, man, we'd love to share that information with everybody.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's working. So we were big fans of this new one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they're similar, but this on the nose, the 23 is a little more boring, a little more oaky too. I think it's kind of holding back some of the excitement.
A little more tannic, not nearly as cocoa, strawberry. I mean, this was an experience. This one was a really nice first attempt to get something done. But I really think they've dialed in and they just turned up the equalizer in a few parts.
Alcohol is more noticeable here, yet it's lower ABV.
It's basically saying 56.9, so we're talking like
I know
0.6.
But it's just the fact that this is noticeably hotter.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, it's got it. I'm getting a little bit of alcohol kick, whereas this thing is just super easy drinker.
Yeah, I mean, the 2023 was all right. Yeah, but this is it's far superior.
Yeah, some more density here. It's a fine whiskey, but it's not. This definitely comes off as somebody's trying to start making malted whiskey, and they weren't really sure what they were doing.
You gotta wade in the water cautiously, Dustin.
Yeah.
You don't want to have a disaster. You know what I mean? You want to ease the engine in slowly, break it in.
Yeah.
No more than 2,500 RPMs.
Like I said, I think I said last year that this felt like they were really trying to bring in the bourbon drinker over to the malt side, and I think they kind of left the malt drinker sitting there going, I don't know what you're doing here.
The last time I had a chocolatey cocoa experience like this was probably Glenmorangie Signet. It's in a different way, but it was very comparable as far as the chocolate and cocoa notes. Great whiskey. Anyway, Whiskey score time, Dustin. Your bottle, I'll go first. Man, I was impressed with this. I was happy to try another single malt from New Riff, but man, from second nosing that and second tasting that, I was like, oh, this is a good whiskey. This is something I like pretty well. I'm going to 88 out of 100. I think it's really good whiskey. I could even go farther and go to 89, but I'd like to have it a few more times, kind of see where we go from there. Your thoughts?
So I was an 89 neat all day. Water, I gotta say, didn't work well with water.
It went great with water for sure.
So I'm probably gonna match you at the 88, but I'm right there. I'm teetering on the 89 because it is excellent whiskey. Absolutely, if it held water or it didn't kind of lose some of the best part of water, I would be stronger.
Yep.
But I mean, we're splitting hairs. I mean, it's an 88.5 if you have to split hairs. Excellent whiskey.
Good offer.
I can't remember what I gave the New Riff last year, but whatever it was, I think it's 1.5, 2 points lower today, right now.
When you have them right next to each other, I would pay. What would these retail for roughly?
$67.
I paid double for this one over that one at that price.
Wow.
I'd rather pay $120 for this than $60 for this. I enjoy this whiskey.
I'm kind of there with you, and it's funny because I don't think it's that much better as a whiskey, but my enjoyment is
Way better.
because this one's just kind of leaving me wanting more. And you know what?
There's no interesting in this. The first
Exactly. It's just like, oh, it's nice. In the right setting, maybe this is going to work well for you.
It's a pleasant whiskey. You won't remember it. I'll remember this one.
I mean, I remember this one more for the fact that it was just kind of made me think and go, huh, that's different.
Chocolate strawberry shortcake.
This one makes me think, ooh, I don't think I've ever said Jolly Rancher watermelon.
You're right about that too. It's that too, Dustin.
Yummy.
Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular one. If you guys say it's a chance to try this 2024 New Riff Single Malt, let us know what you think. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy rifting.
See you next time.